Raise your hand if your to-do list has ever made you feel worse, not better. You write everything down, you look at it, and instead of feeling organized, you feel like you're drowning. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Hey, welcome to Betterish, where we make self-improvement less painful. Today we're talking about your to-do list, specifically why it's probably making you anxious and what to do about it. Because here's the thing. A to-do list is supposed to help you. It's supposed to reduce your mental load by getting things out of your head and onto paper. But for a lot of us, it's doing the exact opposite. It's become a running document of everything you're failing at, a guilt trip you wrote for yourself, a list of evidence that you're not doing enough. And that's not a productivity tool. That's a stress machine. Let's break down why this happens. Most to-do lists have 3 fatal flaws. Flaw number 1, the list is too long. You sit down in the morning or maybe Sunday night and you brain dump everything. Every task, every errand, every email you need to send, every appointment you need to book, every vague aspiration like organize life or get finances in order. And suddenly you have a list of 20, 25, 30 items. And you look at that list and your brain does a very natural thing. It panics because your brain knows, even if you won't admit it, that you are not going to do 30 things today. You're not going to do 30 things this week. That list is a lie. It's a fantasy version of what you could accomplish in some parallel universe where you don't need sleep or lunch breaks. And every item you don't cross off becomes a tiny failure, a little weight on your shoulders. By the end of the day, your list has 25 unchecked items and you feel terrible, even if you actually got a lot done. The list didn't celebrate what you did, it just mocked you with what you didn't. Flaw number 2, everything looks the same. Reply to Sarah's email and prepare presentation for the board meeting are sitting next to each other on the list as if they're equivalent. One takes 2 minutes, the other takes 2 days, and determines the trajectory of your quarter. But visually on the list, they're just 2 checkboxes. So your brain treats them with the same weight, and you end up doing the easy stuff first, the quick wins, the things that give you the dopamine hit of crossing something off. Meanwhile, the big important thing sits there, untouched, growing more ominous by the hour. This is called prioritizing by ease instead of by importance, and it's one of the most common traps in productivity. You feel busy all day and accomplish nothing that actually matters. Flaw number 3, the list has no ending condition. There's no point at which the list says, "You're done, good job, go relax." The list is bottomless. You finish one thing, you add 2 more. It's like a hydra. Cut off one head, 2 grow back. So you never get the satisfaction of completion. You never get to close the laptop and say, "I did what I set out to do today." Instead, you stop working when you're too tired to continue, and you drag the remaining list plus your guilt about it into the next day, and the next, and the next. The list becomes a permanent monument to your inadequacy. No wonder you're anxious. Okay, so now that we've thoroughly roasted the traditional to-do list, what's the alternative? It's called the top 3 method, and it's almost embarrassingly simple. Every day you pick 3 things. Just 3. Not 20, not 15, 3. These are the 3 things that if you did them and nothing else would make today a success. Not a perfect day, not a day where you conquered the world, just a good, solid, betterish day.
Here's how to choose your 3. Ask yourself one question. If I could only accomplish 3 things today, which 3 would have the biggest impact? Not the most urgent things, not the loudest things, the most impactful things, the ones that actually move you forward. Maybe one is work-related, maybe one is personal, maybe it's just something you've been putting off that's been weighing on you. The point is, you're choosing. You're taking control instead of letting the list control you. Then write those 3 things on a separate piece of paper or a separate note or at the top of your list, not buried in the middle of 25 other items, front and center. These are your priorities. Everything else goes on a separate list, a maybe later list, a parking lot. In that list, you don't look at it until your 3 are done, or until the end of the day, whichever comes first. Because here's the magic. When you only have 3 things, your brain doesn't panic. 3 is manageable. 3 is doable. 3 is a number you can actually hold in your working memory without your heart rate going up. You can see the finish line. And when you can see the finish line, you're way more likely to actually run toward it. Now, what happens when you finish your 3? 2 options. Option 1, you're done. Seriously, you did the important stuff. Go for a walk, read a book, stare at a wall. You earned it. The rest of the stuff on your master list will still be there tomorrow, and most of it isn't as urgent as you think it is. Option 2, if you have energy and want to keep going, pull one more item from the parking lot. Just one. Do it. Then reassess. The key is you're always choosing deliberately, not just reactively grinding through an endless list. And here's the part that might feel uncomfortable. Some days, you won't finish your 3. That's okay. That's not failure. That's life. Maybe your 3 were too ambitious. Maybe the day threw you a curveball. Maybe you just didn't have the energy. None of that makes you a failure. It makes you a human being with a finite amount of time and energy, which is exactly what you are. The top 3 method isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters and letting go of the rest. It's about having a definition of enough so that you can actually stop and rest without guilt. And rest without guilt is one of the most underrated superpowers there is. Here's your one thing challenge for today. Write down your top 3 for tomorrow. Not tonight when you're tired and everything feels overwhelming. Do it now or at the end of your workday today, when you still have context. Just 3 things, the 3 that matter most. Put them somewhere you'll see them in the morning. And tomorrow, when you sit down to work, look at those 3 before you look at anything else. Give yourself the gift of a clear, small, achievable target, and see how different the day feels when you're not staring down the barrel of a 25-item list that was never designed to be finished. Subscribe if you're trying to be a little betterish. See you next time.